The Zambo village square is abuzz with activity. Farmers and hunters return with sparse yields. Children sit quietly, their faces drawn with hunger. Comfort, Niruka, and Mandla converse near the blacksmith's forge.
Comfort angrily hammering a blade. How long will we endure this, Nanla? My forge grows cold because the chief forbids us from using the ironwood of the sacred forest.
Manla holding his bow, and my traps come back empty. I've watched my children go to sleep hungry for days, yet the chief does nothing.
Nanra, the ancestors spoke to me in a dream last night. They showed me the sacred forest and said, "Why do the people starve while my gifts remain untouched?"
Manla, sarcastic. Gifts, hot? More like shackles disguised as tradition. It's time someone spoke out.
The three exchange determined looks as villagers murmur in the background. A crowd starts to gather, sensing unrest. The Forbidden Forest. Logged the DG of the Sacred Forest. Early evening. The forest looms dark and mysterious. Kamfa, Nanre, Manla, and a small group of villagers stand before it, hesitant but desperate. The community of Zambo was governed by a strict code of ancient laws, believed to have been handed down by the ancestors. These laws were etched into stone tablets displayed in the sacred shrine at the center of the village. Every villager, young and old, was taught the laws, and breaking them meant severe punishment or even exile. Among these laws were law of the harvest. The first fruits of every harvest must be presented to the gods during the annual festival of gratitude. 2. Law of blood kinship. No member of the clan shall harm another of the same bloodline. 3. Law of the forbidden lands. The sacred forest at the edge of the village was to remain untouched, for it was believed to be the dwelling place of the spirits. 4. Law of the chief's word. The word of the chief was final and was never to be questioned publicly. The seeds of rebellion began to sprout during a particularly harsh season. The rains had been sporadic, the crops meager, and the people of Zubari grew desperate. A group of villagers, frustrated by the chief's refusal to allow them to forage in the forbidden forest, began to question the wisdom of the ancient laws. Among them were three influential figures. Comfa, a skilled blacksmith with a fiery temper. Nanre, a healer who claimed to have received visions from the ancestors. And Manla, a hunter who was tired of watching his family starve. These individuals led a small faction of villagers into the sacred forest, defying the law of the forbidden lands. Manla whispering, "They say the spirits guard this place. Are we truly ready for what might happen?"
Nanra, praying softly. "Spirits or not, we cannot let fear stop us. The ancestors would not have shown me this path if it wasn't right."
Comfa stepping forward. Enough talk. If the gods wish to strike me down, let them.
The group exchanges nervous glances, then proceeds to gather fruits and hunt. To make matters worse, during the festival of gratitude, Comfa and his followers refused to bring offerings to the gods, citing the hardship the village was enduring. This blatant violation of the law of the harvest was seen as an affront to the gods and the ancestors.
Chief Bako sternly, "Comfa, Nanra, Manla, where are your offerings?"
Comfa stepping forward defiantly. Offerings, we have none to give. The gods cannot eat while our children starve.
A gasp ripples through the crowd. Chief Bako shouting, "Stop the drums."
Chief Bako rising, his voice booming, "You dare defy the gods in this council? Do you understand the curse you bring upon us all?"
Nanra calm but firm. "What curse is greater than starvation? The ancestors showed me the forest is for us to use. It is not a place of wrath but of provision."
Chief Bako pointing his staff at them, "Enough. This is not your place to decide. You have broken the sacred laws. There will be consequences."
Tensions reached their peak when Comfa confronted Chief Bako during a village meeting. In a fiery speech, Comfa accused the chief of being out of touch with the needs of the people and declared that the ancient laws were outdated.
By doing so, Comfa publicly broke the law of the chief's word, an act of treason. The accused kneel before the council of elders. Villagers surround them, whispering nervously. Chief Bako presides, his face unreadable.
Elder 1 reading from the stone tablet. Comfa, Nanra, Manla, and their followers are charged with breaking 3 sacred laws: the law of the harvest, the law of the forbidden lands, and the law of the chief's word. How do you plead?
Comfa standing, and repentant we plead guilty to survival. If that is a crime, so be it.
Manla pleading, my children would have perished without that forest. What would you have done, Chief?
Chief Bako speaking firmly, the laws are not mine alone, they are the will of the gods and the ancestors. To defy them is to defy all of Zambao.
The elders exchange worried looks. Chief Baker raises his hand for silence.
Chief Bako with finality, by the power vested in me as chief, I sentence you to exile. You are no longer of Zambao. May the wilderness show you mercy, for the gods will not dot.
The exilic village gates at sunset. The outcasts are led to the gates, their belongings bundled hastily. The villagers watch in silence, some with tears, others with anger.
Comfa turning to the crowd today, you cast us out. But remember, the same hunger that drove us will soon come for you.
Nanra softly to herself. The ancestors guide us still. This is not the end.
The gates close behind them, and the outcasts begin their journey into the wilderness. New beginnings. A clearing in the wilderness night. The outcasts gather around a small fire. Despite the day's events, there is a sense of resolve in the air.
Comfa holding up the branch he cut from the sacred forest. This branch is proof that we can carve a new life for ourselves.
The gods may have abandoned us, but we have not abandoned each other.
Nanra nodding, the ancestors are with us. Let us call ourselves the people of the rising sun, for tomorrow we will begin anew.